Yeah, I've contemplated talking about this for a long time. There wasn't always a time where I was the most helpful to people. And to help you understand where I was, I'm gonna start from the beginning. Like my biological dad left when I was 4. He actually was a drug dealer and went to prison. I remember this weird feeling that I used to have, when my mom would try to drop me off somewhere, when she would like drop me off at school, or she would drop me off at my grandma's house or anything like that. I needed to be attached to her. I needed, to have her in my life. I was so afraid that she was gonna leave me, like that she was just gonna up and leave, and it was the same situation with my dad, because like one minute he was there, one minute he wasn't. But that did lead to, when I was in high school, I felt, I don't know, I just felt different. I didn't feel, and I'm sure all teens and every kid in high school feels that way, but I just had a hard time connecting with people in general, because, let's face it, I felt like they were gonna leave. Like, I was like, what is the point of getting close to anyone when at some point they can just up and decide to leave? So I became relatively a loner. I was the nerdy fat kid. I had glasses, I was chubby, I played video games, back when video games weren't cool. And so my dad leaving at 4, going into high school feeling like an outcast, this led to how I started to cope with that. And I started to cope with that by like bottling up my emotions, bottling everything up, and not talking about it. People would say like, hey, how are you? Oh, I'm fine. This led to a lot of anxiety, and bottling up all of that emotion, it was just stuck there, and like, we'll fast forward a little bit. So I recognized that I have anxiety. I was getting like panic attacks. Wasn't really sure how to handle it. I was dating a girl at the time whom, I very much was in love with. I was probably 19, 20 years old. Like, my first love, I should say. Basically, we split up, and I was living in Florida at the time. The pain that I had felt from childhood, from high school, from that breakup, it was like everyone talks about the straw that broke the camel's back. That's what it was for me. And there was this guy that I had known acquaintance-wise. He, was like a friend of a friend. And I remember talking just in a group of my friends. He was there and saying like, man, this pain is just fucking brutal. Like, I cannot believe breaking up with someone can cause this much pain. And next thing I know, he's kind of saying to me like, hey, I can help you with that. Like, I have something that will help you with this pain. So we go take a ride and go to this Burger King, and a black car pulls up. He goes into the black car for a few minutes, and then comes back out, and he has just like one of those long Burger King straws, and he has what just looks like a regular pill to me, and I'm just like, what the hell's going on? I'm just, super naive, I'm young, no idea what he has. Anyway, it turned that Oxycontin, like, the second I felt that, the second it actually like that hit my system, that's it. It was over for me. Like, I knew it right then, and it's kind of a struggle for me to talk about that, because it was after that I literally gave up. Like, I gave up. That was it. I was done. I went back to Maine from Florida, and I was looking for anybody who had that drug that could kill all that pain that fast. I felt like Superman. I felt like everything that I had, everything bad that had happened in my life, that took it away immediately. No problems. This was a 4-year long thing where I would do any drug that came across my path. Oxycodone was my favorite. Started off small, doing just a little bit every weekend. And then it started turning into a lot of it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, I went from taking 15 milligrams, recreationally, to over 100 milligrams. Over 100 milligrams. Like, it's crazy to me now. I never stole anything from anyone, but I manipulated people. I used people to get what I wanted. I borrowed money from people and didn't pay them back. I did terrible things, and I couldn't go backwards. I couldn't not take the drug because I couldn't handle the pain emotionally. Like, anyone who's ever dabbled in any of that knows that it starts out great and amazing and has all these, positive things about it, but it all falls apart. It all falls apart, and you're taking it just to feel normal. Like, I could quit this time, and I tried, and it sucked. The withdrawals were terrible. I just relapsed. Just like every other story you hear on the news, how many of friends do you have that have died? How many friends do I have that have died? How many people have not made it out of this opiate crisis? I was on the fast track to being one of those statistics. And I would go to bed, and like, this absolutely pains me now, because of what I have and because of everything about my life right now. But I would go to bed, and I would literally pray that I would not wake up, so I didn't have to go through the whole thing again. Every day, I just felt like a loser. I felt like, what is this? What is life if all I'm here to do is hurt people, is to be a loser, is to just, not care about anyone? I didn't care about anyone. I had no feelings. I had nothing. The drug took that from me. I put probably about 300 milligrams of oxycodone on a desk, and honestly, like, I knew that was probably way too much, and that would be it. That would be it. Yeah. That would be it. If I decided to do that at that point, probably no coming back from that. Nobody was home. I made sure that, no one knew what I was doing or where I was. It was just the perfect plan. And something told me not to do it. That voice stopped me from doing something that would have killed me. And for that, I will forever be grateful. Everything is, if it's possible to be in that position, the position that I was in, and feel all that pain and feel everything that I felt and have this horrible experience and just want to die, like go to sleep and not want to wake up. All I wanted was just to quit the drug. I decided that day, after that voice had told me not to do it, I said, all right, if this is how it's gonna be for me, then I want to help people. I want to change everything then. I want to be that one person that can come back from that. awareness so that I can do something like this right now and talk to someone, anyone, and tell them that it is possible. And it's not just possible, you should be doing this. You should know that you are worth it, that everything about you is special, that you do not have to become that statistic. You do not have to become, you know, a drug addict. You don't have to be suckered into that lifestyle. You don't have to only be concerned with that in your entire life, that there's things that are far greater, the greatest high I've ever experienced in my entire life. This is better than oxycodone, this is better than alcohol, this is better than food, this is better than weed, this is better than any drug can possibly imagine, is when you achieve a goal that you've set for yourself. I want you to know specifically that you're worth it, that it's possible, that you personally can do it, that you can take your life from ground zero and you can build it back up to a place that you've never even been before. And it's not something that is unattainable. We all have that power, we all have that ability. It's about the mindset. It's about the mindset, and it's about how you approach taking responsibility. You know, I took responsibility and knew that what I did was wrong. And I'm making this video not because I'm ashamed of it, not because I'm embarrassed. It's super hard to now even talk about it. If I can help one single person who is in that position, who doesn't think that it's possible to get out of it, I want to talk to you directly. Whether it's drinking, whether it's drugs, whether it's food, no matter what it is, I understand your pain. I have been there. I know what it feels like. I changed my mentality, I changed my mindset, and I want everyone to know that it's possible. It's possible.